do it again? Jesus Christ. What's happening? What is happening? What's happening, peoples? What is happening? Shadow Black in the chat early. Okay. Daywalk, what's up, man? How's it going? It's going good on my end. I'm gonna try to get through this. I haven't been behind the desk in a couple days. See if we can get a few people in here and we could get started. Yeah. That is gravy. That is really good, actually. I had an interesting weekend. You joined me for a stream or two. That was pretty fun. A lot of learning. Last night I had the biggest goof. Yeah, I mean, this is hard, man. The preparation that it takes. Um, so every night I'm really thinking about the new stream, but if you add in like a technical component or a change, there's definitely like yeah, both or three. Yeah, I did stream 3 times. I'm pretty sure I remember you in two of them. Um, Last night got a little the one that I started. I was hoping that the two camera setup wouldn't be too much, but it was too much. I did have time to test it out. For Yo, what's up, Mick the Pig? Yeah, I was the stream I had this weekend. Actually, I could just give a little overview and show what that was like, just so people could catch up. Shadow Black is in the chat. He was in here early, getting that number one, the crown, and he got the crown in the chat. That's what's up, man. He was asking where's the poll. I keep doing this thing where so for one, I spent the whole weekend not at the computer. So I did a stream outside. I like outside. I filmed a short. I'll just, you know what? Let me just play a little bit of that. It ain't gonna have no sound. I'm sure some of you have seen it, which I appreciate. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate it for sure. Um, it's not gonna be full mass, but so I did film a short. I'll just do, I'll just play it, and then you could. It's pretty funny. I don't think I intentionally make funny content, but it's just a part of like. Here we go. The short was awesome for real. Thanks, Mick the Pig. Appreciate that. Um, yeah, I'm trying to figure out how to get these shorts, like get them some traction. But it is working. It's definitely working. Let me just make sure the desktop audio. We don't need no more strikes. So I'll just put this music up. You could assume this is a part of it. And I'll try to match my words. After 25 days of streaming every night, that's so hilarious. This thing says, after 25 days of sleeping every night, you see, I gotta the closed caption. It says, after 25 days of sleeping every night. You guys are sorry. I'm so rusty right now. Let me start it over. After 25 days of sleeping every night, I said streaming. So this is the 28th day straight. So yeah. So I'm not only just chilling, but I'm outside. Yeah, man, I really wish I could play this freaking audio on air. But so I have this it's a pretty nice park near me, not super populated. And I mean, on one hand, I went to the park to see if the track was open. Like there's like a pavement track. And while I'm there, this is just my phone. I don't have any amazing tools, and I carry a little stand when I drive out. I was actually on my way back from a carnival, a little indoor winter carnival. So that was it. So I posted that short this weekend. Um, so so yeah, so that hoop, I noticed the height was a little low, but it's pretty heavy. I can actually play this one. So this is from my stream outside.
That
Hey,
goes back into the garden and it feeds my family. So it's bigger than just like these protein. Call these a protein ball.
pause.
It's bigger than the protein ball, and this is like the gateway
Yeah, I
drug
like it.
to having chickens. People, oh, I'll have eggs, but they don't ever see the work that goes back into the garden and it feeds my family.
Yeah, so I had a nice yeah, we're so close to the sub goal. You're right about that, make the pick. Yeah. No, and I played basketball yesterday, and it was the first time in months. So I think from Saturday, I filmed it. I edited it real quick. Wasn't really much, and then I ended up moving to moving to Sunday and played ball. So yeah, only 7 away, man. 143. That's actually the junior high school that I went to. It's pretty cool. 143. That was the number at least. So yeah, it's cool, man. All right, so today let's let's have a discussion. So, oh, sorry, sorry. I just want to embarrass myself. You may not see this video. So, oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay. So I also did this. Getting a little. So this was me struggling through a stream that finally. Hi D. Hi.
Brenda
Shadow Black hung
Lynch,
out with me for
380.
most of the stream. That was pretty
So
cool. So this was
actually,
last night's stream.
I just purchased three of these. This is
I thought
what do you call
I
it?
was doing
What
something
is
cool by
the
having a
thing
two
that
camera
everyone
setup.
cooks with? It's a herb. I don't know why I'm blanking right now, but this is a
I'll
herb.
watch it
I brought
and
three of
have
them
my
because
own
that's what it
true
was on
feedback.
Etsy.
As of right now, the jury is still out. I think over time, if I get it right, it'll make sense. But one of the biggest things that I did, which I was really disappointed with myself, I actually didn't test it out much. I tested it out, but not in a stream since I could have just set it to unlisted, started the stream, seen the bit rate, and this is on being done on an old laptop. So the laptop, not really that there's issues with the laptop, but it doesn't have like a strong video card situation. So the lesson here, when I started the stream, I actually got a influx of people like right away, but the stream was buffering. It was like buffering like crazy. So nothing really didn't really help the people to stay and hang around in the chat. So that was
And I'm
unfortunate.
probably just gonna
But so I did that last night, and I'll be done with this just kind of wrap up of what happened this week. And we out here. Yeah, yeah. And then last night what was no, I don't know. Anyway, I did a live on Saturday, which was I did two lives, two sessions on Saturday, which were I call like open studio. I was working on like a logo and pretty much just trying to, you know, do something live and watch the process happen. And if people happen to join at some point, I'm sure somebody will have questions or like, what are you using? And just to try to get us all aligned on the same page. Whatever I can share, I'm willing to share. So that's that. All right, so today let's talk about. So I did bring some sort of a topic. Um, of course, we're going to read off the poll. So what causes a fall off the fastest? Inconsistency, 75%, losing authenticity, 0% platform neglect, 0% the audience just moves on, 25%. Okay, so I've noticed with these polls, it's pretty it's usually like two choices that are, so I don't know if I need to do more to have choices that things could be spread out more, or just it is what it is, and that's fine. So are you guys interested in how I came to this like fall off um, concept that I wanted to do? It's actually, I think I titled the video "The Fall Off Formula." Do you guys want to know what the heck I'm talking about with that? Somebody just hit me in the chat. I'll go right. I'll tell you exactly what happened and why it triggered me. Okay, so make the pick. All right, so this is kind of interactive, right? So this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go to our good friend uh, YouTube. I'm doing it in the background right now, and I'm gonna listen to something and I'm gonna play it, and we're gonna avoid this copyright strike, but we're gonna play something. No promises, but all right. Okay. Yep. Actually, I don't have to do much because this song is just amazing. So okay, so I'm ready. So do you guys know this artist? Let me try to. You guys know this artist? Anybody? I'm sure Shadow Black knows it. I just need a no, a yes. That's totally fine. If you don't, I'll move forward. But I think the interactivity would really help to draw the conversation, and we could start talking about the fall off, right? Okay, so Mick the Pick says he does not. Um, this artist's name is Scarlip. Okay, I gotta go full mass when I say that. This artist's name is Scarlip. All right, and we're not going to make anything up. We're not even, I have no, uh, I don't want to be negative towards this. But I think it is important to actually have conversations about stuff and be able to give context to it and draw opinions from it because there's potentially lessons to learn. So earlier today, um, I'm a music guy, so I said, let me figure out what I want to listen to today. So the song is called No Statements by Tidal. This song is from 2 years ago. More specifically, it premiered September 15th, 2023. So clearly, if YouTube used months, we would have probably 28, 29 months. But they use years. So this is considered 2 years ago. This song was probably the top song, not just because she's from the Bronx, and she followed another Bronx artist, Ice Spice, which I'm sure you guys know. Mick the Pick probably will know Ice Spice, right? But this is Scarlett, and I'm just gonna play a little bit, and you tell me if you've heard this before.
I'm from a place where we don't do no ratting.
Okay, okay. So that that is the like the catchy uh that's the hook, right? Like that's the hook, and it's the you're not really saying words. So he, yes, he knows Ice Spice, right? So Scarlett kind of followed Ice Spice, and as you can see, she has on this video, and I'm gonna say I think this is a lot, 15 million views. So let's just dig deep into what I see, right? I see that Scar is her YouTube channel name. I see that she has 486,000 subscribers. This video has 15, almost 15.6 million views. Pretty good, especially that, when we're being told to add all this metadata because that's going to do it. Nope, this song did everything that it needed to. It made sense. It was a great song. You could tell the energy in here. I mean, you you got brother man over here with the cornrows. He don't look like he even belong with these people. It's too much energy. Matter of fact, what I'll do is I'll mute it and I'll play the video in the back as I belt, right? And somebody will hold that belt for a long time, like a Cardi B, right? Like Nicki Minaj held the belt for a long time. And when these, they could have been friends, it didn't work out that way. And I'm not speaking as like a historian or even someone who really cares. I'm just giving a little bit of background to this thing, the fall off formula. That's what we're gonna get to. So this morning I was looking for something to play, and I was like, man, I haven't heard that Scarlett in a while. Uh, but I said, what is Scarlett doing now? Like, so in the song, she states that she got signed for $4 million, right? $4 million. There was huge, huge interest in who this artist was. There's always a thing for New York because rap has moved away from New York. Is like we don't control the influence of the rap industry. It moved to Atlanta, then to the West Coast, and you could argue places that it exists, but you can't really argue that it doesn't exist in New York the way that it did, right? We're not like the sole influence. We rarely have influence in the music industry. We may pop artists every now and then, but this was another opportunity. So when the drill rap scene, you know, Takashi 6ix9ine, but I wouldn't say a lot of people that didn't really impact people outside of that generation. Um, but when that scene was going on, then it kind of flows into I forgot the guy's name who just got a lot of time. Um, but then Ice Spice and then you get Scarlett. So we still have artists, but um they don't really have the command or the influence. So, but when we get them, we as like New Yorkers, she's from the Bronx, like we hold on to them, we uphold them. It's exciting because the music. I know her. They call her the female DMX. Man, I mean, she has an amazing story. Scarlett, I at this point 2 years ago, I thought like this is an amazing artist. But then But then I checked something today because of the fact that I have this consistency, right? Speaking to the top vote in the poll, there's a consistency about coming on here every day, um, wanting to do something, needing to bring something. I said, well, let me just see what she's been up to lately. So if you guys want to come on a little tour here, okay, don't care for that. But so what I do now, I'm looking at her just from a content person, and I'm saying I know that Scarlett was able to get signed because of the interest of her social following. She used to have some pretty raw, let's just go what her oldest content looked like. So this is somebody that 6 years ago was coming on here to tell true, real stories of just her getting on, just being like a content creator. Not to say that she didn't do music, because I don't know her, but this is like raw footage, right? Just like Glorilla. Glorilla was on the internet, you know, doing music, but just being a person, just doing content creation. So this is a part of their story, right? Now, what I understood is that she was a very active person. Maybe it's not necessarily this platform, but I truly believe that they kind of got rid of the videos that they needed to, and this is what we're left with. So then I say, okay, well, let's look at, somebody who got signed, who had a very popular song 2 years ago. I'm sure it was top 10 on YouTube. Um, she got signed for $4 million. Why haven't I heard from her? And then I start looking, and I'm like, man, you made a video a month ago. You made a video 5 months ago. So I'm sorted by latest now. So these are all the videos that have been dropped. 1 month ago, 5 months ago. Actually, if you look further, these are the same video. They're the same, they have the same title. It's the same feature. So this is the same song. So my curiosity is saying, what could be going on that would make a person that has this much energy and could come to the people and grow a following because she is a real person. She has echoed, really good emotional things. What would stop her from coming on a platform and being consistent? And to me, this kind of details the formula to fall off, right? Because there's, not to say, I like I said, I don't know her content super well, but if I'm looking back here, there's multiple drops a year, even if it's just videos, because she's just a signed artist at this point, right? But how do you go from having, and let's look at the views. So, well, we looked already, 15 million for the song that we were on. Here's a month ago and 5 months ago, and you went to 400,000, but then this is the same song essentially, probably a different style of the video, and now you're at 260K. And by all means, those numbers are amazing, right? For I would take it, but the fall off. So to me, the formula is simple. Like, a lot of people don't don't keep up for whatever reason with the consistency that the audience found them with. And a lot of times people kind of change. I guess you could say they're evolving, but this is just one example, and this is how I got triggered. So Shadow Black in the chat says Queen Latifah, MC Light, Morning in the Middle, the real historians of female rap. Yeah, I mean, yeah, in the end, the, they all deserve respect. They're all good. They could be really good. They could stay here and continue to make music and inspire people. So yeah, I'm not putting one up against the other. I don't really want to have who's the greatest of that, like female rap or anything. But this is with the fall off, and then it starts to make me think, right? Like who, if you guys had a person that that you know for the fall off, or somebody that you might have been interested in, who is that? Like who would that person be? Like we saw Drake go through what he went through a few years ago. That's in the lane of like the fall off. Like whatever his freaking album is called, Icebox, whatever. I don't really follow it. I seen a couple video drops, but clearly he hasn't gotten back to where he needs to be, right? And that's the fall off. And again, for him, I think the Icebox project or whatever that is, it just suffers from consistency. The people just want consistency. They just want to hang out with you. You could go in the background and create the most amazing thing, but I think when you go to most artists' catalogs and you see when they were most famous, yeah, Drake also has a lot of drama, of course. Yeah, but drama should not be a bad thing, right? Drama is gonna make people on both sides of that drama. It could it could help to enrich their beliefs. Um, I mean, you could say Kendrick hit him hard. I think the people hit him hard. I think the people hit him hard. And he's here's the thing. Drake proved that he was a guest in the genre, because if he weren't a guest, there's nothing that Kendrick did that he would not be able to come back and do exactly what Kendrick did, which is make music, put it on wax. So, you may think that some of the most harsh things that were said in that song is the harshest, battle records of all time. That's not the case. By no means is that the case. And it shouldn't. I really don't know a battle where somebody just goes to sleep and they don't really come back, right? Um, but yeah, I think if you guys know other fall offs, like we could kind of just go through them. I know one that really disturbs me because um, Lauren Hill, let me spell her name right, and in particular, because I reference her a lot because she has some amazing like lines, just the words, wisdom, um, and and there's this thing that I referenced the other day when she was talking about people don't want to see like what's in the back, like in the kitchen, that they kind of want to rush you through it. I mean, obviously she said it better, but Lauren Hill, at one point in her career, um, she made what is the album called? See, she's making me lose the name of her first album, her only album. All right, the Miseducation. So this album, um, 1998, is still considered top five female. No, excuse me, definitely female, but could be classified as one of the top five albums all time. Um, and Lauryn Hill does not have an album after that. So it makes you think, like, it's baffling how art could seem so stimulating at one point, and the next thing you know, it like doesn't exist. It like it's like it never happened, right? Um, and that's, to me, like, I'm trying to figure out what's the formula. Why does this occur? Is it something that's in our face? Me personally, I think Lauryn Hill might be the biggest person that I could really remember that like straight up fell off. But like, look at what's this guy? I'm not sure if he's locked up now, but Fetty Wap. Do you remember how popular Fetty Wap was with his song? And not too long later, I mean, there was rumors of him doing some stuff, you know, and then he ended up actually end up getting arrested and probably, I don't know if he's still locked up, but he got locked up for some time. Um, and it really is like the fall off formula. And for people like us, I would say, can you imagine being like brought to the top? Can you imagine instantly having like millions of dollars in your account? How hard would you go to protect that like fall like from falling off? COD Gaming, what's up, man? What's up? Glad to have you back in the chat. I'm just talk Darnell was just talking. We were kind of reviewing. I'll go back to it just to bring it back there. Kind of reviewing this situation. I was let's trying to find some music. I'll just show you that. So she doesn't drop anything, and she's like a sign. You know, she signed a deal for $4 million. At the time when the came out. So it's just it's interesting how people, just they kind of just take this formula and they fall off, and I find it hard to understand because for somebody who doesn't have, who's not, I don't think it's really a fame thing. I just think you were winning, right? You're winning at this point. Somebody gets signed, you instantly have this safety and security. You stop doing whatever you're doing. So I really think it does come down to consistency. Come down to consistency and just holding on to the roots that got you there. So that's just what's in my head, man. I was trying to come with a topic today. Like I said, Monday is the first time I sat at this desk all week, all weekend, and the weekend went how it went, and I haven't been really been in this kind of stream scenario. So that was it. But what's going on with you guys? Okay, COD says I'm good. Okay, so y'all just catching up. Well, look, it's good to have you guys. I've been super deep in some topics. I could tell you what I'm working on. Um, can I do a little show and tell? Okay, one second. Where did I put that? Okay. So, sorry. So I am trying to work my way out of or kind of figure out what's next. What is this going to be? I'm not gonna stream for 1,000 days, right? Straight. I am still learning, but I'm not learning as much about how to. There you go. Nick the Pick loves. He's a music guy, so yeah, yeah. Miseducation. Shadow Black, are you delayed, man? You must be delayed. So I'm trying to figure out like what is next, but I'm also trying to just roll with what is happening, and like just roll with the punches. And that is, somewhat my spirit. And but I'm not learning a lot about how to run a stream, like the technical side. I'm not really learning a lot about that. I don't feel like just the way that I'm doing this that I need that much more. If anything, I need to learn about how do you come on here and you figure out like the type of themes and the things that you want to do and talk about. Um, and you get better at what that is. So just being on here kind of helps. So I didn't realize I was gonna kind of churn through the technical side. So one of the things I'm working on, and I said this before I ever started, the day one of streaming, I want to start doing like interviews, and put those videos on my channel. I haven't posted a full length horizontal video on my channel since November, and I don't know like what direction. Yo, Shadow Black is straight delayed. If you he's talking about Fetty Wap right now. Oh man. That's so funny when you do this and you gotta keep time of people and where they are and remember what you said so that you could easily understand and not get like frustrated with that. I know Mick the Pick says, imagine if you did stream for 1,000 days. Well, let's get to 100 first. I did realistically consider what that looks like, but just being honest with you guys, one of the things that it the being on this platform, um, me personally, it has to be a give and take, right? You guys have given me something. You guys have given me like hope. So right, it starts with hope. You guys have helped me to believe that this is something that I can do. I like to do. I like to get into understanding what this thing is. So I appreciate you guys for that. But it's not enough that's gonna make me do this for 1,000 days, right? So I am looking at what is that kind of next, that height. So I'm all in the analytics and I'm trying to, just make the right decision with all of that. So let me just start with the show and tell. So before I got on streaming, my biggest thing was about offering people more of myself because it's been really hard to do that. The reason why is because I was trying to not offer much of myself, not even my opinions. I was really just trying to show, hey, I do gardening. Maybe you could see through that and see inside of my skull and say, yo, this guy is heavy into music. He's really knows his thing in sports. He has all these takes. I didn't want to be that person. But we're here now, right? And I'm not there yet, but we obviously are here now. But that's why that has been a struggle for me. So, just from a creativity standpoint, I felt like it was time for me to no longer create anything new. And what I mean by that is all of the baggage that we hold on to as people, as creatives, and everyone is a creative because I think everyone has creativity and good ideas. Um, all of the baggage that we all have. Do you guys have any baggage? Do you guys have anything that you wanted to do and you didn't do, you didn't accomplish? That's more of what I'm talking about. So this is like a representation of misuse of the creativity, partially the talent. And this is probably I probably had this piece of equipment for 20 years, right? Yeah, going yup, almost 20 years because I remember when I got this. So Make the Pig says I have so much baggage. I'm nervous to go swimming. Yeah. So my idea, um, when I said I'm coming back on YouTube or being taking this more serious, was that I wanted to start documenting the journey of, and it's not really a baggage. What it is instead of moving forward, it's doing an about face, and it's taking care of the things that you've always thought about. And because it's always been hard because those are the hardest things to talk to people about because a lot of people that you talk to, they do the, oh, but you were saying this before, oh, you said you was going to do that, oh, that didn't work out, yeah, you probably not going to do that. And when you get those vibes over a long period of time, the longer you put that off, the more stress that you're causing yourself. And triggered by the whole AI and where things are going to the future, to me, this is not this is not. This is physical, right? This is physical. Most of my I have a bunch of equipment and the equipment's in good shape, and I've always considered, did I get the value out of the purchase that I made? So a part of what I wanted to understand how to document on this experience, it really wasn't just getting on here every night. It was, if I am gonna get on here, if I am gonna make a video and I want to show you something, I'm gonna show you those types of things, like me trying to figure out things that I should have figured out a long time ago, or trying to support the idea that I should have supported a long time ago. And there are many of them. Like Mick the Pick said, he said, I have so much baggage, I'm nervous to go swimming. I'll show you real quick. I'll show you another one. So these things are everywhere, right? So this is the Sony. This isn't the ZX 1000. This is the ZX 2000. And UV was funny. He knows this already. So it's a good timing, UV Media. Um, so what this means to me. Um, I purchased the camera, and let's go back. Let's go back to, and I'll really give this some thought, but I want to say I purchased my Sony VX 1000, which is over there in the closet. I purchased that, let's just say 20 plus years ago. And have I made money off of purchasing the camera? Did I get the value back monetarily? Yes. It was gig work. Like, this is pre Fiverr. You find somebody who wants you to film something and you film it, and they give you a cut and then you become a regular. So I've monetarily paid off the camera, right? But the camera had bigger value to me. So what makes the Sony, and I know all the skateboard videos and all of that, it was cool. There's reasons of why they used it, but the truth is that, from coming from a media student perspective, this was the closest thing to having a prosumer camera with see that 3 CCD. um these have chips that manage each CCD, so RGB, so the quality is a lot better. It doesn't handle light as well. I mean, it's an older camera. um but I wanted to make films. I wanted to adopt this to making like a short film, and I had the camera, and life happens, right? So I could tell you I've never gotten close to making a film with these cameras. I don't have one scene filmed. I don't have one, it's just not filmed. It's not there, and that's a part of my baggage. So when I was getting back on YouTube, that was a part of it for me. What baggage do you have, and why can't you just go out there and make a film? It doesn't matter what the film is. Like, yeah, I can make a film about ants and ants and centipedes, right? So that's the type of, Ubiwa says, Mick the Pick says, man, it'll be so cool filmed. Yeah, You could make such a dope film. Exactly. Yeah, no, I agree. So that's good. You guys are giving me the hope, but the hope does not really turn into execution. Just like when I came to do this channel, um, I could have just I already had a tripod that I could have put my phone on, but for me, I needed to do this a certain way, and I needed to invest into understanding, the tools that I need to do this a certain way. And the same is on that side, right? I'm gonna have to write a treatment. I'm gonna have to understand a formula. So UB was saying Port Morris is my baggage. So it has been so 1 week ago, UB was said that he would be on here in 3 weeks. So we're gonna make sure that we have a conversation about the Port Morris baggage because it is a creative conversation and reflection on what could have been, and we're not incriminating anyone, so it could be a conversation to have if you're gonna put Port Morris in the chat. um you an artist, you sensitive. It's bigger than being sensitive because if we tell the story the right way, and just so everyone knows, I know you be with media personally, and we laugh about when we were broke, right? So this camera, not exactly this one, because this isn't the one that I purchased back then, but this camera is a representation of I got it secondhand. Um, it wasn't on its last leg. In fact, my version is the Japanese version, because the American version of the Sony VX1000 didn't have a 16 by 9 aspect ratio. So but it was no one wanted that one because the whole menu was in Japanese. So I have to go through Japanese to get through the menu, and that's what being a broke artist was. I just didn't know I was an artist at the time, but I collected these things. I have them, and what are we gonna do? What are you guys gonna do with your baggage, right? So that's what one thing I wanted to do with coming on YouTube now, is getting past where I could only show you stuff like, agriculture based, and I'm able to bring you along the story of me working through a lot of the things that I've never done. I mean, it's all over my desk, man. I do show and tell, so bear with me, but like something as simple as like a Raspberry Pi, right? And make the pick, he's a pie guy too. So something as simple as a Raspberry Pi, where, what was your reason for getting it? What were you trying to do, accomplish? Were you tinkering? Because I'm a tinkerer, but I just sit here now and I'm like, man, I don't have the monetary struggle that I had 20 years ago. There's other things that I don't have. I don't have what was I telling my kids? The young, dumb, and broke spirit, right? Like I'm not dumb. I analyze things. I don't just walk into dark hallways. I just open doors and I don't see light. Like I make assessments, whereas 20 plus years ago, that wasn't it. So I'm in this kind of crossroads, and that's one of the biggest content pieces and content offerings that I wanted to bring on YouTube. Um, Shadow Black says, "What are you talking about doing? This is first of all, fix your English, man. What? I'm gonna read it as I think he's saying it. He probably meant to say we were talking about doing this since the early 90s. Let's be honest, times have definitely changed. I don't think times have changed as much as you think because we as creatives, the difference with what we were doing in the 90s, as you say, um, we were just doing that for ourselves. If you, I think you could still do that today, right? You could still do it for yourself, and if you just use this place as a repository or some other platform as a repository, nothing's stopping you um, from ignoring the everything else, right? You could ignore all the other stuff. That's what makes this platform and content creation a little interesting, but it also takes away from people who just want to create. You know, if you be with media was willing to come on here, I'd call him if he would like to come on right now on audio. We were actually having this conversation earlier today, about me posting videos on YouTube without real intention as to that whole process message thing. Like, process message, you've heard me say it before. When you make like a commercial or in media, you have a small gap in time to influence. So when you write this script for whatever this is, when you write a treatment for whatever this product is, what are the outcomes that you want the critical mass of the audience to get? So is that, that this product is the funniest thing alive. So when I post a short, or when I film a short, I'm actually not thinking of the process message. I'm not saying to myself, man, I'm going to do this and it's going to be funny, or I'm going to do this and it's going to trigger people. Um, and that could go in different ways. I'm going to do this because I'm pissing people off. And you be with media was kind of representing the the latter, as in like, a lot of times what is popular on these platforms is because it triggers people. So if you're on these platforms and your goal is to maximize you know, the potential of the platform, you have to play into the game of triggering people. But I'm still making stuff the way I was, as Shadow Black said, in the 90s. I'm still picking up a camera. I see something, I like it, I film it. And if once I see that one thing, it connects to the next thing, and then it connects to the next thing. But it's just for my vision. I'm trying to tie something up. I'm trying to write it, one song leads to the next, and then we have an album. And that's how these things are connected. I'm not making them per se to trigger someone, or this audience is gonna, if I'm producing content, that's different. If I'm producing content for you and you want to reach some sort of a milestone, I don't have that in mind. I'm just kind of creating stuff, you know. So it is a little bit of an internal conflict for me, because me putting my stuff on here, me streaming on here, um, it's hard to get people to understand where I'm coming from, you know, because you're here. Hopefully, you're being somewhat entertained, or you like vibing, or maybe you wasn't doing nothing, and you was like, you know what, he be on. Let me just see what he got to say. Just like when we used to watch TV and you flip through channels, it could be no different than that, you know. But obviously, I'd have to come on here every night and do something. But you guys are the leaders, right? And we spoke about we had a deep conversation about leaders and followers, and I'm not going there with what I'm about to say, but you guys are the leaders, because you guys didn't need anything. You didn't need me to fake anything. You didn't need me to make something up. You didn't need me to trigger you, uh, to come hang out and have a conversation. And based on what I was talking with you be with media, that's uncommon, right? Almost to the point where it's I wouldn't say not allowed, but it's not applauded. I don't think it's applauded, right? So yeah, more on that. We'll have more on that. I think so, we've been on here for an hour. Um we could wind down at this point. Let me just take a 60-second, I'm gonna call it my drink break. I haven't even I don't drink. This is just flavored water. Let me just take a little break. I've been talking so much. 60 seconds. I like to just play, what some of the stuff that I have. So I'll be back in 60 seconds.
For the 2030 Winter Olympics. Let's do it.
But here by the fire we defy frost and storm. Ha-ha, we are warm and we have our heart's desire. For here's four good fellows and the beechwood and the bellows, and the cup is at the lip in the pleasant fellowship. Oh, here by the fire we defy frost and storm. Ha-ha, we are warm and we have our heart's desire. For here's four good fellows and the beechwood and the bellows.
All right, I only promise 60 seconds so we could let that other one not play. Shadow Black put some he put some medals in the chat. I'm glad you back with us. I didn't think you was caught up on the live based on what you was saying before. But yeah. So based on what is that? Based on what the little monologue that I just gave, I'm looking at, in this little 60-second break, I'm looking at the video that I posted, and because I was there, I just, I mean, it took me, I'll just go back to the genuine moment. It was lunchtime, the sun popped through for the first time in a few. It's definitely been a rough winter. I've been calling it thaw season as the ice. When I was just walking outside before I got on stream, the ice is so dense. Shouldn't say ice. The snow is so dense that even though it's high, I was not able to crush it. I was like staying on top of it. And I'm not a small guy. So yeah, the snow is really it's there and it's been there. It's gonna probably be there till the end of this week. We got some nice warm temperatures coming in. So the sun popped through, and when the sun pops through, my thing to do is just throw the snow on the drive. Make sure it's on the driveway. It'll melt because it's reflecting off. It's heating it up. Doesn't matter what the temperature is. If the sun is shining pretty bright, something will melt. So yeah, this winter, Mick the Pig says this winter has beat me up bad. Yeah, it's probably been the worst one for me since I've moved here. Um, Not the worst storms, but the way the storms have come in. Yeah, so walk outside and I go get a shovel and I started to take the snow. So I'm picking up the snow and I'm trying to launch the snow onto my driveway. Like, so, you start off and you just put it near you and you're like, okay, well, there's more. So now I'm throwing the snow like super far. And then I said, then one time I threw it and I kind of like torqued around and it was like, hmm. It's like, hmm. So my wife is inside. She's off that day. I say nothing. I go inside the house. I go get a camera stand, like a little tripod. I don't have it over here, but it's literally like this big. It just sits on the floor. That's why most of the angles of that, at one point I sat it on top of the car. So I go dart into the house, go get the tripod, and I say, okay, well, I was just doing that, so I'm gonna do it on video. That's it. That's all I was doing that. I'm gonna do it on video because I don't have cameras recording me. So I start recording the thing, and then I just started having fun with the moment, and that was it. I say nothing to my wife. She never saw it. She never saw me doing it. It was all of 10 minutes. I go back inside and I think to myself, that one's gonna be good. That one that's gonna be good. And I think it's good because that's genuinely me. Like that's kind of how I roll. Um, but yeah. So we could wind this thing down. I appreciate you guys for joining. I think the stream was cool. It was a little bit more laid back. I think Mondays will be like that. The start of the week for me, um, going from creativity on the weekend and into going back to work. There's definitely a conflict of interest in that. And it's kind of rough, but I think Monday will be like that. So you guys let me know. I'm probably gonna put up a community post, so if you see it, just give me a like if you can. I'm just testing out what that is and the visibility of what that does for a channel. Again, it's just a test. So I'm gonna start trying to push some videos out. Look out for um, the reason why I showed you. Oh, this thing is actually freaking heavy. The reason why I showed you this Tascam mixer, it's actually a digital recorder, um, is because I'm going to be recording a sit down pretty soon. Actually, this week. I'm going to lock in this week with my special guest. And the crazy thing is, I'm not going to be using this because I thought through it and I'm like, it's great that you have all this equipment, but the person that I'm doing it with, like we're struggling to keep the energy in order to get the thing done. So I have not even plugged this thing back in. It takes compact flash, so if you know anything about big old compact flash cards, and it's going to take some engineering. This is, if I remember correctly, this is an 8 track. So it has, sorry, show you in the camera. So it has 8 tracks. It's a digital mixer. It has 8 tracks, and I think, if I'm not mistaken, it's a 64 track. So it probably could bank. It has 8 physical tracks, and it probably could go into 8 banks. And obviously standard mixer stuff. So you got EQ, um, syn, pan. So I really wanted to use this, and I'm just not ready for it. And it really, you know what? I thought about it today. I said that's okay that you can't use it because this is more of a permanent setup, situation. So I am going to tinker with it, find the best use for it, and have it as a permanent setup. I mean, I've got a bunch of different audio recorders. So, the one that I'm going with, I think that's also a Tascam. It's it's super tiny. It's like it's a Rode one. It's really for mounting onto like the video camera, so you could put it, on a rig, and that'll record the audio. And then I made my first purchase since I've been doing this YouTube. Literally, probably my first purchase is $20. I purchased two lavalier mics off of Amazon. Didn't really want to do it off Amazon, but I didn't want to spend a lot of money. So $20. It'll be here tomorrow, and it's cool to see how the technology has changed, where it has the adapter for eighth inch or USB-C. or iPhone charger, whatever you call that. I don't know if that's a Thunderbolt or it had the old iPhone one on there. So that's the receiver, and then you have the two lavaliers. So it's just an easy setup. So I think between a little Tascam audio recorder and the lavaliers, I'm able to, get audio of this interview, and I'm really excited about. Um, and I'll let you guys know when I'm editing this whole thing because I might need your help. If you guys have any siblings, um, that that's all I'll give away. That's kind of the keywords. If you guys have any siblings, I might need your help. And that's all I'll say. If you guys have siblings, that would be awesome. If you want to help, there's no pressure not to. I think it'll, but it's definitely something that's going to help the channel grow. So, but that's all, man. You guys have anything you want to, leave me with? Thanks for the 7 people who took the poll. Um, what causes a fall off the fastest? It looks like inconsistency with 86%. 0% for losing authenticity, 0% for platform neglect, and 14% for the audience just moves on. Okay, Shadow Black is still chatting. Let me just read that off. Could have bought the microphones off team. Hey, stay. You're not getting me to go on T-Move, bro. You too big. Come on, man. Don't do this. You too big to be on T-Move. You, what is this? Shadow Black, you want to call in, man? Let me know, man. I'll hang on. I'll hang on for you. You don't have to get on video. If you want to call in, just let me know. I'll plug you in here. Mr. Pick says, awesome stream. Good to see everyone tonight. Yo, no, what are we called? What are your chatters called? Yo, you're the second person that said that. I was thinking, and you guys, I would say you guys get some control onto what that is. But I'm going with moon hangers. I'm personally going with moon hangers, and I'll explain why. And I've never heard, someone. All right, what? Let me just, since you guys got me hanging around here, and I'm always game to. How do you call? Just hit me on Discord, bro. And make the pick. That's on you, man. If you want to hit me, I don't know if you want to come. Moon hangers. What on earth? All right. So let's start off with like, what is a moon hanger? All right. So when you say what is something and they don't really give you a definition, that's already not a good start. Oh man. It's okay. Okay, I got some work to do. I got some work to do. I want to tell you what I think it is, but okay, so that's the name of the movie. Okay, we're not doing that. That went totally sideways. Oh man, what is wrong with me, bro? Daxton, what's up, man? Just hanging on. I'm trying to get myself in trouble after we had a totally cool stream. And clearly, I like trouble. Yeah, we're not gonna do the moon hangers, make the pick. We're not. Well, we were about to sign off, Daxton, and I'm waiting to see if Shadow Black is gonna call in. And I make the pick asked what was the group called? The supporters that are here. And I was thinking about moon hangers because I clearly have a different definition as to what a moon hanger is. A moon hanger, in my definition, is somebody who lives up in the stars. They dream a lot. They're dreamers. And my father is one of the biggest moon hangers that I know. He has some pretty cool ideas, and I used to look at them and be like, man, that's awesome, and no one else would understand. So we kind of have that connection where we kind of look up into the stars and have these far out ideas. What is your favorite fast food restaurant? Someone asked me that here before. Favorite fast food restaurant. I'd have to go. Shadow Black, are you calling in, man? What's up? I'd have to go with probably. I'll just go Chick-fil-A. I don't eat. I try not to eat much fast food. I mean, if I have to get something for the kids, I'll just grab something. But I go Chick-fil-A. If not Chick-fil-A, I'd say Hardee's. Even though I only get Hardee's when I'm in the South. But let me know, Shadow Black, man. Come on, come on, come on. Yeah, Daxton, just to catch you up, and yeah, I gotta get you on this board. Let me just make sure I write this note. Okay, Daxton. Why don't I have a pen? Okay, I'm gonna write a note like an old school person. So we were talking about the stream today, which wasn't super organic. I came with the topic. We were talking about um people like the fall off formula and people that have fallen off. Um, so so if you calling in, sir, what is taking so long? You press the call button. This is like the anxiety and anticipation on my end is crazy. Like when it you gonna call? You gonna call? All right. Okay, he says he's calling. Hold on, let me. Oh, okay. I see him. Okay. Let's figure this out, guys. Give me 1 second. You hear me? You hear me? Okay, he hears me, so I think. Can you hear me?
All right, here we go. Here we go.
All right, don't worry about your phone, man. Do you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
You,
Can y'all hear me?
yeah, can y'all hear me? Make the pick. He's on like a big stage right. He's doing
Yeah.
sound check. Yo, do the sound check, brother. You gotta do the sound check.
Here we go.
1 2 1 2.
Oh yeah, it's a delay here.
Yeah, stop looking at the phone.
Yeah.
Just join. Just join like we on a phone call, bro. You hear me? You hear me? Yeah, you hear me? Every time, man. Every
Can you hear
time.
me?
Yeah, I hear you now. You back?
All right, cool. That's what I'm talking about. Are we still streaming? Are we still live? Are the people
Um,
still out there?
I feel like it's just saying my connection is poor, but I think it'll recover. I switched over to a stronger internet signal, so I think it should recover. The people, hey,
All right.
I can't
Yo,
really
if y'all hear me out there,
if y'all hear me out there, but
put put shadow on the chat. Uh,
who put shadow in the chat? Who what's the biggest fall off what's the biggest fall off you've seen, or maybe somebody that you was rocking with initially, and they you just seen them fall off. Has that happened for you?
yeah, yeah.
Maybe even
I
some,
mean,
if it's person, it could be somebody. Oh, they got shadow in the chat. Oh, oh, that's hilarious.
let's
Good,
go.
good call,
Now we
sir.
talking. Now it's time. Now it's time for me to get down. Um,
Okay.
no, what it is I'm talking personal. Like mine would be consistency as far as weight goes. You know what I'm saying? My, I've been a part of a gym for like no BS about 15 years, and I think I
15
seen the
years. How
gym if
much
I
you?
did a total
How
of
much you?
3 years,
How much you
3 years
paying?
out of that 15.
How much you paying for the gym for 15 years?
$20 a month.
Okay.
If everybody
Oh,
know,
so
you
you
know, if
got
you're
the
in Planet
purple.
Fitness, you
So you in the
pay that
purple gang.
extra,
You in, you must be in the
and then I
purple
got the
gang.
black card. I got the black card, so to say, if I want to invite somebody, they can
Yeah,
come.
yeah. Mick the Pig says Shadow is a badass for real. Yeah, that's my boy, man. We go way back. But yo, I don't care about the I'm talking about a person. Like, can you name a person to give? Because I think if somebody does see this like on replay, like I was thinking like the whole Scarlett example, the Drake example, Lauryn Hill. Like, is there somebody that personal to you that just kind of was going in a certain trajectory and
You
then
know what? I can say that. I'm gonna keep it in the industry. I'm not gonna put the name out there, but there was
just
somebody
change
that
the
was really,
name?
really,
Just
really
change the
close to me.
name. Just change the name. Don't even say how close they were to
Uh,
you. Just change the name.
all right. They was in the rap game, and like legit, they was performing and putting on for like people, bigger people. Obviously, they would be like the people who put the show on right before the main event come on, and
Hmm.
they was doing shows like out of 30 days in a month, at least 3 weeks. You know what I'm saying? And they used to fly them out like Boston. They used to go to Pennsylvania, Florida. Somebody actually went to London, because they'll put them on. And then he had a falling out with his colleague, and it was just after that it was over. Like he just stopped. He ain't have no interest. The fight wasn't there to go back, but he spent years, like almost a decade, on this. Like, yo, y'all was right there, but
Yeah,
it was like I could tell the fight messed him up. But it was like he's in my eyes. This is my personal opinion. I can't say if this is what it is, but I felt like he only seen him and that other person making it. And if it ain't him, then it ain't nobody, because it's like he just abandoned the whole idea of him being in the game without this person.
yeah. I mean, it be like that, bro. I used to make music with a certain person, and my connection was really with that person. And I used to make beats for that person. In fact, that person joined the chat not too long ago. And my thing was that was something that started there. It was hard for me to say I didn't like doing this enough alone. My start of doing this was as a unit. So when the unit was not the unit anymore, I didn't have enough in it myself, you know, and I struggled with that as well. But no, it's a good example, bro. Well, we ain't gotta be on it too long. I appreciate you for joining the conversation. Anything you wanna leave the people? I hope Mick the Pick is still out there. We working on a
So,
name. You got a name suggestion? What you got?
listen. Shout out to my boy. Shout out to my boy Nick the Pick. He out there. Shout out to Wabiba Media. Shout out to Daxton, Crossland. You know what I'm saying? I want to shout all y'all out
Yeah,
because I see y'all consistency in there.
Prince and
That's
Daywalk
a
too.
big
That
deal. You know
that
what I'm saying?
yeah.
Showing the love and the consistency. Listen, I'm gonna do the plug. The Shadow Black channel is coming up, and let me tell you right now, y'all all can subscribe. And what's gonna go on is I'm gonna call y'all my shadows because we out there, and we gonna do what we gotta do. Keep it popping, keep it living, keep it moving.
When
We out here, one
when is
love.
when is
Always remember,
when is the
God
Shadow
first.
Black channel? Can we get some smart goals here? Something measurable? Wh- When is uh when is this happening?
We're gonna say that for a little conversation.
Oh, okay. See, you gotta you gotta watch these people make the pick. You never know, man. I believe them, but life be lifing. That's all I'll say. Well, listen, I appreciate you, brother. Um, make the pick. Thanks for hanging out and holding on. Daxon, if you're still here, thanks a lot. We about to get out of here. Everybody be well. Don't be a sucker for love. Peace.